Hello, how are you? I am so excited to be here tonight. We have a very special night planned on this live. In case you don't know me, you are new to my channel or new to my email list. I'm Margot Mastery, your heartfelt CFO. I provide myself and my team outsourced bookkeeping, accounting, CFO, and tax services. And we talk about on these lives everything to do with taxes, money, and all of the in between. I am really, really excited to share a special member behind the scenes who's been helping me a lot. Before I do that, I'm going to take a minute just to double check that everything is running well. Okay. Okay. So, sorry, on one of our platforms, the post usually goes private and not public. So I like to make it public, giving the chance for people to see this. So I welcome everyone. Thank you for following. Thank you for listening. Um, so I'm going to jump in for the topic, and then I'm going to introduce you to this amazing team member of mine who's sitting here with me. Um, Tonight's topic, we are going to talk about a platform that we've internally created of gaps that we've seen over the years. The name, you're welcome. The name of the platform is called Ultimate Business Resource, and I'm excited to share it with you. It's an education platform where we talk about mindset, business, taxes, cash flow, payroll, and all of the in between. So I'm going to take a minute or so, and Ryan is going to talk. Ryan is part of my team. I don't know how long we're together now. It's probably at least a year now, I would say.
Yeah, I think it's been like just a year.
Just a year? Okay.
Yep. um,
So Ryan does a lot of our editing and copywriting, and he has been a very magical and very valuable teammate to share this content with you. So I'm going to let him take the floor because he's going to explain to you his role and how he's helped with this content.
Appreciate that intro, Margot. Yeah, so like Margot said, I've been working with her and her company for about a year. And I do a lot of contract and freelance work, and I really enjoy working with clients like Margot. Long-term clients that I really become a part of their business. And when you get to work on a cool new product like Ultimate Business Resource and help launch it and everything, that's just an awesome bonus. So I'm really excited about the Ultimate Business Resource. I've been working pretty hard on it for a while now. I've already personally, for my own business, my own professional life, have learned a ton just from helping Margot curate the content and craft the messaging and everything like that. So it really is like like a great tool. I think like Margot mentioned in the intro there, the gaps, and I think that's really where a lot of the value of the platform comes from is the way I've kind of phrased it. It's the gaps between what business owners, know and what they should know or what they need to know, to move their business forward. And also the gaps between, what they know and what the people, that are working for them and helping them know. And what's really valuable about the program too, is that there's all different levels of knowledge in there. So like for cash flow, for example, I know there's a video on the Ultimate Business Resource about, specific cash flow issues and, cash flow crises, and how to overcome them. And then there's also a video, for when you're not in like a cash flow emergency. There's also a video for just, how to concrete strategies for, improving your cash flow consistently. And so I think really the breadth of knowledge, it really does help. It just fills those gaps in what, because obviously everyone can't know everything. And as a business owner, you're focused on your business a lot, and like your specific area. And so what the Ultimate Business Resource does is really, it gives you, the tools to, to work on your business instead of just in it. And yeah, it just really fills those gaps of knowledge. I think it's an awesome tool, and we're really excited to be launching it.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about the levels that he was talking about. What we did was in each level, I'm actually going to take a minute and add one more teammate. We're going to make this a super, super special night. Hi, Mike.
Super special, huh?
Or extra special, extra creamy. I don't know what to call it. So just, I'm going to take a minute. So Mike is behind the scenes also from the tech component. And Mike is going to take a minute to introduce himself on his role with the platform and how he helped make it possible.
Yeah. So my name is Mike, and as Margot has so kindly put it, I'm behind the scenes. I'm the tech guru, I think is the way you referred to me last time we were chatting on here. I help Margot with a lot of the technical aspects of setting up the Ultimate Business Resource, along with a lot of the other things that I try and do to make her look really, really good for you guys. And I help set up a lot of the automation and functioning and a lot of the tech stuff that just happens automatically in the business for Margot to do what she does at such a high level. How was that?
Perfect.
Okay.
I like that word automatically. I might borrow.
Yeah. It's a very Margot-esque word.
It's a Margot word. So just to talk about the tech component, even though I was in the middle of something actually from Ryan about the levels, to talk about the tech component, as an accountant, I'll just tell you, learning automation was a very difficult task for me as an accountant. When I was starting my business many years ago, or maybe like diving in deeper than what I was when automation became about, it was a very expensive learning curve. Because at first I was like, shouldn't I? And then the main thing to do was always a lot of like outsource your genius zone. However, having the right person was very difficult to find. Now, what I did to help my business is I learned it first in order to help things. And then I decided that at a point it was better to have someone, and I was also ready to work with someone again because of all those curves. And it's probably the biggest objection that I get in my field in accounting is that, it was everything to do around the previous accountant and why you can't move forward because it was the accountant's fault. He didn't do, he was late, and now I got these fees. So taking the matters into your own hands to learn just enough or just a bit more so that you can do it. And I can tell you that I feel like that enhanced my relationship with having someone like Michael on my team, because I was able then to vocalize to him and things that I wanted. Now, how does this apply to Ultimate Business Resource? Like, why do you need to know that? Where is the platform located? Great question. Mike, why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, so we decided a long time ago when Vimeo had just initially launched a platform called Vimeo OTT, and we were early adopters to it. I said, hey, Margot, there's this. Actually, I believe you brought it to me and then had me research it. You said, hey, this person I follow, they are on Vimeo OTT. I've reached out. I've talked to her just a tiny bit about it. And then you kind of unleashed me on that. And it was a very early program when we first got to it. And I would say we were early adopters. And so basically it's a Vimeo platform, and OTT, I don't even know what it stands for, and nobody could tell me what it stands for, but it is their educational. Just asking the Vimeo people, they're like, I don't know what it stands for really.
Right.
It's a educational platform that hosts and houses video content, whether that's coursework, educational resources, video recorded or pre-recorded webinars, and even lectures. I think some universities have started using it. I know a lot of content creators and influencers in the fitness space and coaching space are starting to use it. It's really well done. It's really beautiful. I think it's easy to use. And it also allows, one of the cool things that Margot has talked about, at least to Ryan and me, and I'm sure she's really excited about it if you can't tell. She's talked to us, and I'm sure she's talked to other people about putting workbooks and worksheets on there so that users can have access to that information in hand or digitally speaking on the screen, where they can interact with those worksheets as the material is being presented on video. So that's a long-winded way of saying we're hosting it on a Vimeo associated platform.
Yeah, so the point of having worksheets in addition to the video is that what I've learned as a CFO is all my clients really learn and retain and receive things differently. And sometimes it's either, sometimes it's both, sometimes it's a combo. And there's nothing like, for me, I know there was nothing like the hand to paper feature of being able to listen and to write at the same time that it really started to register. And going backpedaling a minute to what Ryan was talking about in terms of the levels, I have seeding growth. If I remember, Ryan, what we did, seeding growth and takeoff.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. And Mike, when you're ready, and then Ryan, also when you're ready, if you guys want to share the curriculum or even within the platform. So I'm
logged in. So whenever you're good to go.
Okay. So the reason why I did the levels is because business, it's the basic world of looking at business. Business isn't linear. I'm going to give you an example of what happened today with a client of mine. She's a very profitable client. It's a service-based industry. And we have an outsourced billing team because of how big it is. However, whatever happened, the billing team delay with money coming in, she couldn't cover payroll. Now, this is a typical thing that happens in business, whether you have the right people or not, that could happen. Now, because I was with her, and I'm not trying to make myself like pat on the back, but because I was with her as a CFO, I was able to pull her out of her hiding in her nest to be able to take care of it so that we don't wake up to a bank terror. And I mean a bank terror because she processed payroll and the payroll was processed and we could wake up and then the payroll bounces. So now from an accounting perspective, to clean that up, we can imagine how terrible that is. And my team will work through it. However, because we were there, I was able to work through with her actions so that her payroll does not bounce, which is why one of the many reasons why I created this platform is because business owners need to have access to the information that I have, like myself as a CFO, but may not be able to afford a CFO like myself. And I recognize that with my fees. My fees per hour could be anywhere from $250 to $500, and I get paid thousands of dollars each month. And our platform, and remind me if I'm correct, Michael and Ryan, I think we're at $97 a month where we price this, and we wanted to make this super affordable for everybody to have access. So Mike, when you get a second, the guys are going to talk you through the curriculum. And then as Mike is talking about it, Ryan, if you can jump in on how we decided so that you see how this will fit into business every day.
Yeah, and just to build on what Margot said, I mean, it really is like the value of this platform is enormous. Like you really get like, you know, the experience and knowledge of a CFO right at your fingertips. And it's, you know, Margot has been in the business for a long time. You know, she's made mistakes, had a ton of success, everything, all that knowledge is packed in here. So it's like, you know, if you're facing an issue, it's like she probably has faced it before, you know, with her business or with her client's business. And so the solution is then put into this platform, which kind of is what makes me most excited about it. Is just it has basically all of Margot's knowledge and experience downloaded into these videos.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them too. I think there's 22 videos. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyone?
And there's about between 20 and 25 at this moment. And then each ranges anywhere from 8 to 15 minutes. What else is in there? There's more coming. It's just that once the students come in more and more, we're going to load the videos more and more. There's other parts of the curriculum that we didn't do yet. Do you guys see it? Oh, it is on the screen. Okay, good.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was just kind of perusing around as you were talking about it. And I do want to point out talk about the Q&As a little bit, Margo. You and Ryan could probably speak to them better than I can. I do know that it's one of the major kind of selling points, I guess, if you will, about the Ultimate Business Resources, just having access to you in a Q&A type setting where somebody can bring their specific and intentional questions to you and basically have an answer from you.
Yeah. So think about it today, the client who I probably spent 4 hours with. So if you would do my minimum rate of $250, right? That's pretty expensive. And not to say that I wouldn't love you as a one-on-one client, but just to show you whether you have an accountant or whether you have a bookkeeper, it will serve the purpose as more levels. Like a lot of business owners are telling me they want their bookkeepers to learn the more. This can help you learn the more. So if you didn't listen to any of my videos, which I would love for you to, and if you just came, but these guys know how much I love this content. But if you just came and got your $97 worth in terms of the Q&A to help your business, that alone pays for the platform. A lot of people have been asking me as well, like, why should I do this versus hire someone? As I gave you the example, like out of accounting, when I was in the issue with accounting, when I wanted to grow my business, I had the choice to keep putting more money into marketing, or I had the choice to learn things first myself, to have an appreciation so that I could have a better relationship with someone like Mike, who I could tell you, if I didn't do it, I wouldn't see his value as well as I see it now. Because as a business owner, I'm only interested in the results, but I may not know all the detours that he has that now I can appreciate, with not that it's not his responsibility to tell me, but it's part of the joint venture of working together. So it serves as a gap and it serves as a resource for no matter where you are. In terms of the tax planning, this part I think would be your best friend. So this one, it talks about all the various categories. And we took these topics from a various polls that we've been running in LinkedIn through my posts, through regular our feed, and just seeing the valuable feedback from across the years is how this curriculum came about. I know a lot of clients talk about their time, and I can tell you, and I could guarantee you that you will gain back time from this platform, from this knowledge. Alone from this client today of the issue, I can tell you that that experience is built in. And then you're like, didn't you record the videos before today? I did. Sneaky pies over there. However, it's from the years of my work that I was able to dive in and to help her and be successful, and she can sleep good tonight. I had a different client this morning where he was not taking action on paying down things when he just got paid a lot of money and he was going to pay more taxes, and we're 20 days closed till the end of the year. And I literally had to have a mindset shift conversation with him so that he can pay down what he needs and take advantage tax wise, because or else you may be holding the cash. It may be tricky, but then when you get that bill, taxes, when you actually do that gap of when you actually get the tax return and when you actually get that bill, is a huge, you think that you have the money, but you really don't, because then you have to give the money anyways. So when you have someone who can tell you in the year and in the present time of the steps to take, you don't realize how today I would save it. It definitely saved him a minimum of $50,000, and he saw it at his own eyes. So here, as Michael is going through it, you're going to see there's cash flow projections, how to overcome it, how to plan for expenses. What we did was we took every area and made them, they're all slide based inside so that you can follow the material.
Also, I had somebody ask me this question. And I not a client or a prospect or anybody, my wife, and I talk to Margo about my wife all the time. She was asking me, because she knows you have a YouTube presence and she knows that you do a lot of webinars and the Scoop and things like that, just from our conversations together. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of this material is stuff that you've learned over the years, but is not something that you can get on YouTube or
No, not at all. Those teachings are not the depth that's on this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I guess that's another way to say a lot of this material is fresh, new material that you're not just regurgitating from a YouTube video that you did 10 years ago or, something like that. So there's renewed value here, I guess is what I'm saying. All right.
Yeah. I mean, in addition, what's happening is also the tax laws change, and then how to help you handle those things. Even let's say if someone wants to tell me that it's a lot similar to the free content that I put out there, it's how it's put to take action to help you implement it into the business is the transformation, is the steps of where it's going to help you. And the ability to have access to a CFO without necessarily having to make that decision right now, especially if your business is washy and it's ups and downs. I'll tell you, I'm working on a lot of income generating activities with most of my clients now because income is not coming in as quickly and they need to do different things to shift. And looking at income of what works is the most important in order to keep the needle moving forward.
Yeah. I'm just teeing up questions for you, Margo, so I hope you don't mind.
I hope I know the answer.
Yeah. Well, between you and Ryan, I think we can get it nailed down. How did you guys curate a lot of the material on the slides? Did you guys work together? Is it you telling?
Oh, Ryan did. Ryan takes this one because I buy the zero with it.
Yeah, I would say we work together. I mean, it's Margo's knowledge, and then I helped her. We worked together, I would say, to craft a lot of the messaging. And like I said earlier, I've learned a ton just from working on this stuff with Margo. And kind of building on what Margo said, like a lot of we would have loved Margo to make 1 million videos to start the platform, but obviously, time is a limit too. So we had to determine, what do we want to do first. And so we did, we thought, cash flow, tax planning, business mindset were 3 of the most important kind of, overall topics. And then where we got the ideas for a lot of the videos is a lot of it's, from Margo's own experience working with clients and stuff, but a lot of it was from those polls that Margo mentioned. So these videos are they're very actionable and they're very, tangible advice that, is responding to, what business owners have told us that they need to learn or they need help with, or the gaps that they see in their own knowledge. So I feel like that kind of the driving force behind a lot of these topics and what videos we chose to make, that driving force is what business owners have asked us or told us that they need more knowledge on. So I think that really underscores how practical and useful all of this information is. But as far as curating the content and stuff, I feel like it's mostly Margo, and then I just helped where she needed it.
All right. So I hope you guys can see what I'm doing on the screen. I'm just kind of fiddling with it, but I can give a formal tour now if you're ready, Margo.
Yeah.
All right.
I actually just got a message about it.
Ooh. So here, what's up?
No, someone was asking a question, but I didn't turn my phone over, which was my mistake.
So here we're looking at the Ultimate Business Resource after you would log in as a user. So I've got my little test account here where I created myself as a user on it. And so this might look a little bit different because I'm also an admin. I don't know because I haven't paid for the service and signed up for it. So if you are looking at the top up here, this is where you're going to live for the most part. All of the video material and content is going to be up in these two links right here, browse and search. Now, if we click on browse, it's going to take us to the library as a user would see it. And this is my continue watching. I was just kind of flipping through this if you were seeing my screen, and it's posted it up here because I haven't finished the video. So that's for somebody who wants to watch a video and they get halfway through it. Because like Margo said, some of these are 15 minutes long-ish. And this one down here, 16 minutes. And these are made to be kind of consumable and you don't have to sit down and watch a full length major motion picture. So you get halfway through one of these, life kicks you while you're down or something, and you need to go take care of something urgent. You can come back and watch and pick up the video where you left off, similar to any other streaming service that we've got that people watch nowadays. Then we've also got your list, or my list as it's titled, which is where you can check mark or add videos to your list that you want to see down the road. So if you're making kind of a wish list of videos and you don't want it to be by a specific category, you can just use this little checkbox on the upper right-hand corner of any one of these videos and add it to your list. So I just added these two: scarcity mindset and steps to obtain a line of credit. And if I refresh the video, it'll add those two to my wish list. And it also adds them in the order in which I most recently added them to. Then once I'm done, I can remove from list, and let's remove this one from the list, and we'll refresh, and then it takes those off. Now, the one thing it will also do is keep the video on in the event that you finish watching it. So problems with DIY accounting, if I finish watching this, it will not remove it from my list. It'll keep that on there for future use. Then once we're done, get rid of this, refresh. Continue watching stays there. Okay, so then my list is gone, and it just brings back the browse library as we've organized it in a very specific order: business mindset, cash flow, and then tax planning. You want to talk a little bit, Margot, about that specific order and why it's set up that way?
Yeah, so mindset is basically for every business owner on how to stay focused without necessarily needing like a separate coach, or I joke about this, but it's true, without needing a therapist like every day, because business can be so difficult, right? I mean, we all got bills to pay at the end of the day. After that, cash flow, it's the lifeline of the business. And tax planning is really the health of everything. If you don't plan, then you just pay a boatload of taxes, which most humans in business do. So that was really the mindset with that. If I recall, after that, what's coming is payroll, Ryan, and then we have one or two other categories.
Yeah, I know payroll is what we were talking about, the next category adding. And then I think after that, we were going to do, which I think is a really cool category, is going to be more of like a more general, correct me if I'm wrong, helpful kind of tips and advice.
Right. What was an example of that one?
Let me see.
Do you remember?
I
Okay,
don't.
if you could. Okay. So payroll, just to talk about a little bit, and I can tell you, I've learned this with hiring contractors versus W-2 workers, is that contractors think because they get a Zelle that is like the answer for just paying them, but they need paperwork. And some people I've hired don't even know how to do invoices. And I'm not saying it in a demeaning way. I'm saying it in an informative way, because if you implement it in your process as you do it, instead of making it year end, it reduces a lot of work. Most people at the end of the year are chasing people. For me, I will not pay someone unless they follow the system of how they got paid, which is all their paperwork has to be in and by a certain period. And that's how I operate, because it's when I can do it, and it's a promise that it's on the same path of what works. And if there's someone out there that doesn't, it's either they come on board or they don't. Or sometimes I accommodate, depending on the circumstances. So payroll, W-2, 1099s, how to set that up, all of these types of things are super, super, super important. And I'll tell you, a different client of mine with a payroll mistake, she made she had like a penalty of like 14,000, like it was something crazy, right? It was painful, like even to read the letter before even like trying to fix it. And obviously she didn't pay it at the end. It took some work, but again, giving you the information to be on the driver's seat instead of the passenger. Not to put you on the spot, Ryan, but by chance, did you?
Yeah. So we do have a few ideas. I think we were still kind of brainstorming, just because payroll is next, and then we were kind of do the helpful info or helpful tips category. But some of them that we kind of brainstormed were top strategies for avoiding audits, signs you need a new accountant, which might be an interesting one. Tips for building a business and raising a family, which I think is a really cool topic that Margo can pull from a lot of personal experience. And then what else do we have?
What do I do around payroll tax debt?
Yeah.
Yeah. These are all problems that I've encountered over the years. And then that topic, that area specifically, it's fun topics. And sometimes you may not know you have it. Another thing I want to do in there was like a glossary of terms, because a lot of people say how they don't understand the accounting jargon, which is really how my company evolved. When MBS, when I'm shooting this video, because today I forgot to tell these guys that I got the new formation of our new entity, which is coming soon.
Love it.
See how precious it is to have teammates that want for the business what you want. Like, you don't know how meaningful that is. So if you're out there and wanting that too, we want to help you create that. And we want you to join, be a part of this family, be a part of this, so that these guys can give you too, share their expertise. And honestly, now that I'm saying it like this, I do feel like the idea of like copywriting and the idea of tech to a degree, I feel like could be or should be in it at some point. We'll just have to hash it out exactly how. And again, if you're part of the platform, we're going to ask you what you want, so there's nothing better than to get from the students and from the internal team of what you're looking for, to help you. So if for some reason money is an issue and you want to be part of it, if I recall, it was like a 7 or a 14 day. And if you want to be a part of it still, and there's something that, about a timing or whatever, let's talk about it. Send us a message. We really want everyone to have this content. It's more about sharing this to help you than necessarily about just getting paid, even though obviously there is resources behind it that need it to stay living. From my end, I think I shared a lot in what I want to. I don't know if you guys have a little bit more to close this. And then Mike, when you're ready to put the links, if possible.
Yeah, I've got them ready to go.
I think we pretty much covered it. I think it is Michael, you can correct me. I think it is a 7-day free trial.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a very low risk way to get in there and take a look at the platform and, just get a taste of all the value it can offer you. It really is an awesome resource. Like I said, I've learned a ton from it just from working with Margo on it. So you should sign up.
Same. I mean, Ryan, you've said it a couple of times, and every time you say it, I just kind of nod my head because you're right. I've learned a lot too. I mean, I laughed out loud about the invoicing part, because that's one of the things that Margo and I had a late night conversation about. She's like, hey, this is how you do it. This is what you like. That's stuff that I'd never had to worry about, never done. And it was just in my education.
So I'm glad you're honest about that. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. I mean, if I'm screwing it, like if I don't know something, I'll be the first person to tell people that. But it was nice to sit down to you and have that knowledge kind of dropped on me, if you will, because it's one of those things I'd never dealt with. I'd always just relied on some automated system. And then when you're like, hey, this is why I do it this way, it's like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. Like, and now being on the other side of it, I can see why it would be valuable for a business owner to understand that stuff, because especially in this day and age, because contractors like myself, it's very easy to go find somebody like that where, it'd be really expensive to bring on a W-2 and all that liability on that situation. It's nice to know that stuff. And I've learned a lot from it. Just you in general, as your knowledge, and then the videos as well. Cause I've watched a few of those, just working through them, kind of like Ryan has.
Perfect. So thank you guys. We look forward to having you. If there's any questions, we want you to take advantage of the trial. We want you to stay on. And there's more to come. So please send your questions. We look forward to having you, and thank you all for watching. Stay tuned. What we do is I go live usually Tuesday nights, but we do send out the replay in our emails Fridays, if I recall on our schedule, is when the replay goes out to our email list. If you're not on our email list and you'd like to be, feel free to put a comment here or reply to a message, however you're getting it, because we do put this out on different platforms, because there's so much good stuff that goes out there. However, it is different, to Michael's point, to what's in UBR. So to that point, good night, everyone. Thank you, and we will talk soon. Bye.
See you later.